in the function f of x equal a open parenthesis x plus 2 close parenthesis x minus 3 close parenthesis to the power of b. A and b are both integer constants and b is positive. So we know that b is positive. If the end behavior of the graph y equal to the function is positive for both very large negative values of x and very large positive values of x, what is true about a and b? So in other words, we need to find either if a is positive or negative, and if b is either even or odd. And we know that b is positive, so that's for certain. X has values of very large and negative numbers, so it could be like 1000. And this function has to be positive. So the final answer has to be positive. So that means b is positive. And the end behavior of the graph is positive. It's positive for both very large values of x, either positive or negative. So we need to replace just the sign to make it easier. So the function so we have to try for all the choices. First, for a. And as we said, just the signs. And b is even. It could be 2, 4, or more. And we need the value of x to 1000. So let's replace those signs in this function. A is negative. X is 1000. 1000 plus 2 is 1002. Just positive. So 1000 minus 3 is 997, which is still positive. So positive. 2b is 2 to the square. Positive to the square is positive. Negative times positive is negative. So this function is equal to negative times positive is negative, which does not satisfy this, that the function has to be positive. So a cannot be the right answer because the end behavior of this graph y equals f of x is positive. It has to be positive. So let's try with option B. For B, A is positive and B is even. Let's see. So this function A is positive. X is 1000 plus 2, 1002 is positive. X minus 1000 minus 3 is 997, which is positive. 2b to the square. B is 2, so positive to the square is positive. Positive times positive is positive. So for this one, yes. So far, it satisfies that condition. We still have to try with the negative value of x. So let's try that. A is positive, so if x is negative, plus 2 will be negative. Negative 1000 minus 3 is negative. 1003 is negative. And b is 2. So positive times negative is negative. Negative 2 squared is positive. Now negative times positive is negative. This is not allowed. So B cannot be the right answer. Now let's see for C. A is negative. So A has to be negative. And B has to be odd. It could be 3. We're replacing the function. A is negative. X is 1000 plus 2 is 1002 is positive. X is 1000 minus 3 is 997, which is positive. To B, which is 3. So negative times positive is negative times positive to the cube is positive. Negative times positive is negative, so this does not satisfy. It is not positive. So C is not the right answer. So it should be D. Let's see. Now, A is positive and B is odd. We replace the signs in the function. A is positive. X is 1000 plus 2 is 1002, which is positive, times 1000 minus 3 is 997, which is positive, to B, which is 3. So we know positive times positive is positive. Positive to the cube is positive. So this answer is correct. It is positive. But we still need to evaluate for the other value of x, which is a negative. A is positive. X is negative. Will be negative. X will be negative. And B is to the cube. Positive times negative is negative. Negative to the cube is negative times negative. Times negative. Negative times negative is positive. Positive times negative is negative. So negative times negative is positive. And yes, that's true. So the right answer is D.